Hello all, my name is Rahul and welcome to this session on Java language. In this video, we will try to understand if statement in Java. So as a part of this video, I'm not going to cover any theoretical part. We will try to understand each and every concept of if statement using real-time example. So I have created this document and this document I have added in the description box panel. So if you want to download it, you can go and you can download it from the description box. So let's try to understand if statement in Java language. The very first thing in Java about if is a keyword in Java language. If you have not watched the video on keyword yet, you can just go and you can refer lecture number 4, and the link of this I have already added in this video in the description box panel, so you can go and you can watch it. If is a keyword in Java language, so this is a reserved keyword. It means you will not be able to use if in case of class name identifier or variable name identifier or as a method name identifier, because if you try to use it, then you will get a compile time error. If it is a keyword, then you will have to use if in a lowercase. You cannot use this in uppercase. Now if we talk about the functions of if statement in Java language, it always checks or tests the condition in Java. It means what? If you have any condition in Java language which you want to execute, then the best practice to use or to get the conditions verified, we always go for if statement. It means it always checks for the Boolean conditions and it gives you output. If your condition is true, then you will get your output executed either in console or command prompt. If it is false, then it will never execute your piece of code which you have written inside the if statement. If you talk about why we use if statement, if you have any conditional or any condition, or if you want to test any condition in Java language, then we use what? If statement. If you talk about syntax of if statement, then syntax is very simple. You just have to say if, and inside the brackets we verify the condition, and here your code will go, right? Now if you talk about how does it work, so if your condition is true, let's try to understand this. So I have int a equals to 5. Now what is the condition here? Condition is a greater than 0. So greater, less than, or equals to. This is what? This is conditional operator in Java language. So first check for the condition. So what is the value here? A equals to 5, right? It means the value of a is 5. Now here what we are saying? A is greater than 0. It means your condition is 5 is greater than 0. If it is correct, then it will get inside this and it will start executing your code. Second, if condition is false. If I say a equals to 5, and what is the condition here? Condition is a is less than 0. It means is 5 is less than 0. No, 5 is not less than 0, because 5 is a positive number and it is greater than 0. If this condition is not correct, then it will never get inside your piece of code and it will execute. It will start executing the code which you have written after the if statement. So let's try to understand this with the help of example. So guys, I have created a statements Java project, and the package name is magic of if, and I have a program on class over here, right? Now let's try to understand this. So I'll just take int age equals to 12 or 15, right? Now I'll use this. So the syntax is very simple. So I'll just say if, and after that you will have to open and close the brackets. And after that, guys, this is a good practice, so you should always use it. Writing the declaration of methods or if statement or any other loop, you should always open and close the braces. So this would be very easy to track your program, or later on you will not be able to track down whether you have closed the braces or not. So this is good practice. You should always use it. Now here our condition will go. Let's say my condition is age is greater than 12. If it is correct, get inside this and give me output as valid. Now what we are doing here, we are saying 15 is greater than 12. Yes, this is correct. If this is correct, and if you try to run your code, then you will get output as what? Valid age. In same way, you can use multiple if statement in Java language. Now here, if I say if age is less than 12, then please give me this output. Now check for the condition. So what is the condition? 15 is less than 12. Is 15 is less than 12? No, this statement or this condition is false. If this condition is false, then you will not get this output printed in your console section. I'll just say invalid age over here so that we can easily identify, right? Now if I try to run my code, then you will not get output as invalid age in your console section. We are getting output as what? Valid age, because this is the condition getting satisfied as per the value we have used. This is not a correct condition. If condition is not correct, Java will never interpret that code. It will compile for sure, but it will never interpret it. It will just skip that code. So in this case, Java controller is skipping this piece of code and it is just giving output for this code. Now guys, in order to make you understand the next concept, that is if-else statement. Now tell me one thing. If I just say this, I'll remove this one and I'll just keep it like this. If age is less than 12, is 15 less than 12? No. If I try to run this code, then you will not get any output printed in your console section. Now tell me, I'm new to Java. I don't have any knowledge about this. If I'm not getting printed anything over here, then I'll think, okay, there's something wrong in my program. But actually there is nothing wrong in your program. Your program is correct only. Output we are not getting. Why? Because in Java, if statement we always use to print the correct value. If your condition is correct, then you will get your output printed in Java language. If not, then it will not print at all. So in order to print the invalid or unsatisfied statement in Java language, we use what? Else. So after that, you just have to say else and open and close braces, and here I'll just say system.out.println, and here I'll just say invalid age. So let me just make it as valid age over here, and this would be invalid age. Now what it does, if you try to interpret your code, it will check for the condition. It will check, okay, this piece of code or this piece of condition is not correct. Then it will get inside the else statement and it will give you output as invalid age. So you will be able to understand, okay, the first statement which we have used is not correct. That's why we are getting output as else part or invalid age. So this is the use of if-else statement in Java language. If your if part is not correct or if condition is not getting satisfied, then it will definitely print the else part. But if your condition is correct, let's say 15 is greater than 12, this is correct, then it will never go and check the else part. If statement always execute or checks for the true condition. If your condition is true, then it will print that value. Now, most of the users, they say, hey, I have three conditions. Now I want to make sure if first condition is not true, then it should print the second condition. It should not print the else condition, right? Now let's try to understand if-else if statement. So here what I'll do is, let me just try to take a copy of this program so that I can show you in the different program, right? So I'll just paste it over here. I'll just say paste with the name of program2 class, and I'll open up. Now here what I'll do is I'll just remove the else part, right? Now else if, what it does, you just have to say else if and you will have to enter the condition. So this is condition 1. Let me just show you the declaration of else if first, and after that we'll discuss. So this is condition 2, and I'll just open and close the braces, and after that you can use, so same as like else if condition 3 up to n number, and after that you can just say else. Now this is the declaration of or I'll say the syntax of if else if. We also call it as ladder in Java language. Now here see, if and else if always accepts the condition, but else, simply else will never accept any condition in Java language, because else means what? This is a default false statement. It means if your first statement is not correct, then it will go inside the else statement and it will print the piece of code which you have mentioned inside the else. But if you are using if and else if, it will check for each and every condition from the starting and it will execute that. Now let's try to understand this. So I'll just say my condition 1 is age is less than 10, right? And condition 2, I'll say age is greater than 10, right? And here I'll just copy the same thing and I'll paste over here else if. So instead of this, I'll just say percentage over here. So this would be good, percentage, right? Now if your percentage is less than 60, or I'll just say greater than 60 over here, greater than 60, right? And this also I'll have to change because the variable name is percentage now. And if I just say if it is less than 60 or something, right? If I just say this, so I'll just say first marks, first position over here. Okay, now try to understand this. So my percentage is what? 60 over here. Now first condition, what it says? It says percentage is greater than 0. What we have here? We have percentage as 60. Now if I just say is 60 is greater than 60, this percentage is what? This percentage is 60 over here. Now we are saying is 60 greater than 60? No, this is not correct statement. If it is not correct, then it will never get inside it and it will check this syntax, the piece of code. It will just skip this code and it will go to the next else if. Now it will say percentage is less than percentage. Now it will check here what? 60 is less than 60. Is this statement correct? No, again this condition is also not correct. If it is not correct, it will not enter to this line. It will go to the else part and it will print this. It means your first condition and second condition are not getting satisfied. If your first condition and second conditions are not getting satisfied, then it will print the else part and you will get output as what? Failed. Let's try to run this code. If I just say here, if per equals to 60, it means what? We are comparing the value and we are saying if 60 is equals to 60, then give me this output. So again, it will check for this condition is not correct, it will skip the code, it will go to this code, it will check for the condition, yeah, this condition is true, then it will print what? Second position, and it will never go to the next line and check it. So guys, we have seen if else statement and if else if statement. Now let's try to understand nested if. And guys, if you want me to create a flow chart of if statement, please do let me know. I'll create it and I'll upload the document in the description box panel. Now let's try to understand the last concept, and that is Java nested if statement. So again, I'll take an example. So this is very simple. Nested if means what? If inside if. So the syntax would be, I would have mentioned over here. Let's check. Yeah, this is the syntax of nested if. So we have if statement over here, and after if statement, inside if statement, I have another if statement. Now let's try to understand this with the help of example. So again, I'll just copy this code. I'll open up the program here, and let me remove everything. Now here I'll take a simple program, a simple example. Let's say if I say int age equals to 20, right? And second declaration and initialization, I'll take int weight equals to what? Or I'll say 80, right? So this is my declaration and initialization of variable, right? Now I'll start the if statement. So I'll say if, and after if statement you will have to enter the condition, and definitely you will have to open and close the braces, right? So I have open and close it. Now here what we'll do is we use if statement inside if statement, and again you will have to start the open and close the braces. So guys, you can just see this. This is my first if statement, and inside this if statement I have used another if statement. Now here I'll say age should be greater than equals to 18, right? If age is greater than equals to 18, then get inside the nested if or next if statement and try to check the next condition. So here I'll say weight is greater than 50, right? And if this is correct, then I'll say system.out.println, I'll say value as you are eligible, something you can enter. So here what we are saying 20 is greater than equals to 18. Is this statement correct? Yes, 20 is greater than equals to 18. If this is correct, then go and check the next nested if statement, because we have used, this is my parent if statement, and inside this parent I have used a child if statement, right? Now again this if has a statement or condition over here. The condition is what? Weight. What is the weight here? Weight is 80. Now it will check for the condition. Now tell me, is 80 greater than 50? Yes, this is correct. If this is correct, then you will get output as what? You are eligible. Now let's try to run the code and see the output. So you are getting output as you are eligible. But what if I say weight is less than 50? It means what you are saying here? We are saying 80 is less than 50. This statement is what? False. If this is false, let's check what output we are getting. Again, we are not getting anything. So just now I explained you about else, because in order to track your program or in order to see the working program, you will have to use else, or you will not be able to understand whether your program is working or not. So I'll just say system.out.println, and here I'll say you are. Now if you try to run your code, definitely it will check the condition. This condition is correct. If this is correct, then only it will go and check for the child if statement, and it will start executing it. So I'll just say run your program. So we are getting output as what? You are not eligible. Same as like, what if I say this 18, instead of 18 I'll say 28. Now if I try to run my code, what will happen? You will not get anything, because you have used else statement for child if statement, not for the parent, because for parent I have not used any else statement in this program. So if you want to use it, then you will have to say else over here, and I'll just say system.out.println, and inside this I'll say parent condition is not, or something you can enter. Now if you just try to run your code, since this statement is not correct, if I just say 20 is greater than equals to 28, no, then it will print the else part and you will get output as parent condition is not correct. So guys, this is very important. So what we understood here, we can use if, separate if statement multiple times in one program. We cannot use else if in your Java program starting. Okay, let me give you one more example here. So this is my code, right? If I just say, let's try to understand this again. So if I just say per, I'll just say this as 20. 60 is greater than 20, right? 60 is greater than 20. Why? Because this is 20 and per value is what? 60. So 60 is greater than 20. it means this condition is correct. If this condition is correct, then I should get output as what? First position. But again, else if is also correct, because 60 is equals to 60. If this is also correct, then I should get output as what? First position as well as second position. This will not get printed until or unless both the condition gets failed. But here conditions are true. Even one condition gets true, then it will skip the else part. But in our case, both the conditions are true here. This is also true. 60 is greater than 20. Yes, this is correct. And 60 equals to 60. This is also correct. So I should get output as first position and second position. But again guys, there's a magic. Let's try to run this code and check for the output. We are getting output as what? First position. It means in Java, if you are using if statement and if first condition is true, it will never check for the next condition. It will just terminate your program and it will give you output in your console section. If your first condition is false or not satisfying the condition, in that case, it will go and check for the else if. If this is also not correct, then it will print the else part. If this is correct, then it will only print second position as an output in your command prompt or console section. So this is the magic of if statement in Java language. And guys, this is very important. If you are freshers or if you are new to Java, then you will be asked about if statement in interview. So be prepared for this, and if you have any query or doubt, you can just let me know in the comment section. Okay. Now I have one more thing to explain here. So I hope you understood this if statement, right? Now let's try to understand the points. We can use if statement multiple times in Java program. Yes, this is correct. We cannot start program with the else if. So if I just remove everything from here, let me remove and try to start my program with else if. If you just say else if, and I'll just say condition as age is greater than 20 or 15. Now if I just use this over here, you will get compile time error. Why? Because we always start, or parent or the starting syntax of if statement will always be if and not else if. Else if can always be used after the if statement. This is the first point, right? First point is what? If can be used, if statement. Simply if statement can be used multiple times in one program. If else, if you are using else, then else will have to come after the if statement. Else is a mandatory part which we always use after the if statement. Third point, if you are starting your if declaration with the else if like this, then you will get a compile time error. And you will have to always start your program with the if statement, and later on you can just say else if over here. So you can say else if and your condition, and you can start executing your code. This is the third point. If we can use separately in Java language, but else we cannot use. Because if your condition is not true, then definitely we know it will print the false statement. But first you will have to show whether your if first condition is true or not. So guys, these all points are very important, and I'll give you a bonus thing over here. So let's try to understand this. This is a bonus concept in if statement, right? So if I just say if, so currently what we are doing, we are using the syntax like this, right, of if statement, like this. This is how we are using the syntax of if statement, right? And we are entering the condition. So let's say I'll just say age, say 18. And here we are printing the output, right? So guys, the syntax, what I told you, this is the if statement, and after that you will have to start the brackets, and inside brackets you will have to enter the condition, and inside the braces you will have to write your piece of code. But in Java, you can also execute the if statement without using the braces part. Let's try to understand this. So if I use age, see, I have not used any open and braces close for if statement, right? This is for what? This is for your main method, open and closing braces, and this is for your class declaration. So for if statement, I have not used open and close braces. But still, if you try to run your code and if your condition is correct, then it will give you output as valid age. So guys, this is very important. And after that, if you use any statement, so if I just say, if I copy and paste the same thing over here, right? And if I just say random age, something I'll just say. Now, if you try to run your code, then you will get output as both valid age and random age. Because in Java, if you are not using braces, then it will always consider the first statement inside the if block, and rest all statement after the first statement will get considered as outside the if statement or if block. In that case, definitely it will print everything. So it's same as like this. So if you just try to understand this example, right? So here what I said, if your condition, I'll just remove this braces. If your condition is true, then it will print the piece of code which you have mentioned inside the if block, right? And addition to that, it will also print all the code which you have used after the if statement. Same thing it is happening here, right? This is, we have not used the braces over here. So it is considering the first statement just after if statement. This is the first statement, right? So this is considering this first statement inside the if block. Rest all statement after the first one will get considered as outside the if block, and that will definitely get printed for sure. If I just say age is less than 18, it means this condition is not correct. If this condition is not correct, then this will not get printed, but after the code will get printed. It means you will get output as what? Random age. So guys, this is very important, and if someone asks you, then you can say yes. We can also declare if statement like in this way. You might get this query asked in your interview section. So they will just ask, if I just say this and if I have SOP of something over here. Now they will ask whether this is, and here would be some condition. So condition would be, let's say age is something, 18. They will ask whether this statement is correct or not. The syntax of this if statement is correct or not. Or they will ask like this. So they will just give you braces over here in order to confuse you, right, like this. Now they will ask you which statement is correct out of this two. You will definitely say this statement is correct. But guys, this statement is also correct. But the condition is after the if statement, the first line or first piece of code will get considered inside the if block, and rest all will get considered outside the block. So both the conditions are correct. Both the syntaxes of if statements are correct over here. So thank you for watching this video, guys. If you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe. And do let me know your feedback in comment section. Your feedback are always welcome. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Take care.